Structuralism and Semiotics. Are you living inside a language system? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that nothing you say, wear, eat or do is actually your own idea. That your thoughts, choices, and even your identity are shaped by a deeper system, one you can't see, but that you're completely immersed in. Welcome to Structuralism and Semiotics, the two intellectual revolutions that shattered the illusion of individual freedom, and instead asked, are we speaking language? Or is language speaking us? What is structuralism? Structuralism began as a linguistic theory, but soon evolved into a way of understanding everything. Culture, myths, literature, fashion, even psychology. At the centre of it all stood Ferdinand de Saussure, the quiet revolutionary who forever changed how we understand language, thought and meaning. Saussure made a bold claim. Language isn't a mirror of reality. It's not a transparent window that shows us the world as it is. Instead, language is a complex system of signs, and those signs don't get their meaning by pointing directly to objects in the world. They get their meaning from each other. Take the word cat. It doesn't mean cat because it somehow contains whiskers, fur, or the sound of a meow. It means cat because it isn't bat, or cap, or dog. Its meaning doesn't come from some magical link to the animal. It comes from how it differs from every other word in the system. In Saussure's world, language isn't a list of labels we stick on objects. It's more like a map made entirely of contrasts. Each word only makes sense because of its difference from the rest. Meaning isn't found in things. It's found in the spaces between them. Just like musical notes only make sense in relation to one another, or chess pieces only have value within the rules of the game, words only mean something because they're part of a structured system. This idea cracked open a radical new way of thinking, not just about language, but about everything. If meaning is built from difference, not substance, then maybe nothing has a fixed meaning at all. Meaning is not in things. It's in the relationships between things. Semiotics, the study of signs. This is where Roland Barthes takes the stage. Roland Barthes believed that the world is made of signs, not just in books or billboards, but in the everyday things we wear, eat, and say. To him, a Chanel handbag isn't just a fashion item, it's a signal. A McDonald's logo isn't just a restaurant sign, it's a beacon of fast-paced consumerism, globalization, and Americana. A political speech, not just policy, it's performance. Every object, every image, every gesture is loaded with meaning far beyond its surface. Barthes called this mythology, but he didn't mean Greek gods or legends. He meant the stories our culture tells us, quietly and constantly, through signs. Take a cowboy hat. Functionally, it shields you from the sun. But culturally, it's rugged individualism, masculinity, rebellion, the American frontier, distilled into felt and brim. A wedding dress isn't just a white gown. It's purity, tradition, romance, gender roles, and yes, the wedding industrial complex. And here's the punch. We don't question these meanings. We absorb them, we wear them. We perform them. Barthes asks a haunting question. Are you really expressing yourself when you post that aesthetic photo, wear that brand, or quote that political slogan? Or are you just playing a role that's been written for you? By advertising, by tradition, by centuries of unspoken codes. In Barthes' world, culture is a script, and we're the actors, often without even realizing it. Claude Lévi-Strauss wasn't your typical anthropologist. He didn't go into the jungles of South America just to record exotic stories. He went looking for patterns, hidden codes buried beneath the surface of human culture. And what he found was astonishing. Across oceans, across centuries, across completely isolated civilizations, myths looked eerily similar. An underworld, a flood, a virgin birth, a trickster god, a cosmic battle between light and darkness. These weren't just coincidences, they were signals, patterns, blueprints of the human mind. Lévi-Strauss argued that myths are not random stories passed down for entertainment. They are structures built out of the same raw materials, binary opposites, life and death, order and chaos, male and female, civilization and nature. These oppositions shape how we think, how we categorize, how we create meaning. To Lévi-Strauss, myths are language. Not spoken language, but mental language, the grammar of the unconscious mind. And just like we don't invent grammar when we speak, we don't invent myths. We're shaped by them. Think about it. When a culture creates a hero, it's not starting from scratch. That hero will almost always have a nemesis, a journey, a fall, a rebirth. Not because of divine revelation, but because that's how our brains make sense of the world. It's not the content that matters, it's the structure beneath it. So whether you're reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, a Marvel screenplay, or a creation story from the Amazon, you're actually reading variations of the same deep structure. A code running silently beneath civilization. And here's the mind-bending twist. We don't tell myths. Myths tell us. They shape our values, our expectations, our roles. What we believe it means to be a parent, a leader, a man, a woman, a hero. We like to think we're writing our own stories, but maybe we're just filling in the blanks of an ancient template. So, are we individuals, or are we just characters in a vast, unseen system, playing out patterns written long before we were born? Structuralism challenges the very idea of the autonomous self. If we are shaped by language, by binary oppositions, by cultural codes, then how free are we really? Your identity, your desires, your beliefs, they might feel personal, but they could be pre-written scripts you're unknowingly performing. Are we truly choosing who we are? Or just following structures we inherited? Why it still matters in a world of hashtags, memes, brands, and identity politics, structuralism and semiotics are more relevant than ever. Every ad you see, every trend you follow, every label you embrace is part of a symbolic system. Structuralists would say, none of this is random. It's all encoded. You are not just using language. You are living inside it. Closing thought. So what do you do with this knowledge? You can start to decode your world. Instead of just reacting to signs, ask what they mean. Instead of assuming your identity is purely self-made, examine where your symbols come from. Structuralism doesn't strip you of agency. It gives you the lens to see the hidden scaffolding. And once you can see the system, you can begin to rewrite your part in it. Welcome to the Language Matrix.